Auburn's playing Georgia this Saturday. They tell me it's the Deep South's oldest rivalry. They tell me you played in this game once upon a time. But they also tell me Georgia's a 24.5-point favorite. Saturday, 3:30 game there on ABC, at least in the Eastern time zone. So let me just ask you, let me just float something to you. Everyone knows turnovers have been a chronic issue with Auburn. They were a problem last week for Georgia, mind you, but they've been a chronic problem all year for Auburn. So let's just say that we rub the magic 8 ball. Turnovers are even in this game. No edge either way. Number one, miracle. And then number two, Peyton Thorne, 300-plus yard guy, 2 of his last 4 games. Auburn otherwise, their offensive profile is a top 25 yards per game, pass yards per game, explosive plays per game team. Georgia has had slow start after slow start this year. And as much as folks are looking for a big-time get-up-off-the-mat response from Georgia from last week, I should reasonably expect that from Georgia or from Auburn as well. They have been terrible in Sanford Stadium. I understand that. They are not as good a team, nowhere close to as good a team as Georgia is. The quality depth is not there. They may not be able to get after the quarterback quite like Alabama did. But, man, this is 24.5 points. Are you ready to at least present to me the idea, because you called Kentucky nearly outright last week, are you ready to present the idea that you could see a fourth quarter game here?
After that diatribe of Auburn negativity, I'm not sure how anybody could, but I guess that I'll go out on a limb and try to give you a couple reasons that I think they may be able to. One, outside of one deep ball down the sideline, Auburn's been pretty good in man coverage this year. It's one of the bigger surprises that I've seen with this team. That could allow them to have extra defenders close to the box to play the run, which I also don't think Georgia has really overly committed to this season. Is this going to be the game where they say, we think we can push this group around? Let's attach our tight ends. Let's try to go north and south and see what they can do about it. And then maybe try to let Carson Beck work off play action. Or you're able to dedicate more bodies to more stunts, more pressures, more simulated pressures, which I do think DJ Durkin's done a pretty good job of drawing some things up to be able to confuse some different quarterbacks this season. So it really is the same story on both sides. You have some strengths that need to go a little bit further to protecting your weaknesses. So can Jarquez Hunter be able to get the run game going? Is the offensive line going to continue a little bit of an upward trend? I thought they had one of their better games last week, even though it's not great. I mean, I'm not saying that they're running people over left and right, but they have shown some improvement, got a little bit more from the tight ends in the run game last week. I think you'll see more misdirection. I think there's some things that I don't want to say they've been held, but that Hugh Freeze will probably pull out for this game that we haven't seen a lot of so far this season. Could they keep it competitive if a lot of those things go their way? Number one, I think you got to get pressure on Carson Beck. I think you have to make him uncomfortable like he was in the Kentucky game and the first half of the Alabama game, which means your corners are going to be on an island. And they've been pretty decent there. So running the football also going to be paramount. And against this front, it's going to be a little bit more difficult. So we'll see. Peyton Thorne probably has to do a lot with his legs if that were to take place. I think you'll see him break that defense down multiple times if Auburn is sustaining drives. I think they slow it down too. I don't think this is a tempo game. I don't think this is one where you try to go fast and see if you can get 80 plays or try and throw the football down the field constantly. Make sure you're getting into the right play. Make sure you're getting into the right thing. Probably hurry to the line of scrimmage, and then maybe some look over, some check with me's, just to kind of be certain that what you see is what the coaches see and try to avoid catastrophes like Auburn has seen in almost every other game.
I also have no reason to expect a fast start from Georgia. They could spring one on you anytime, but I'm going to go with what my eyes have seen so far this year. I think if that is a like one-possession game at half, the juice in that locker room to come out the second half will be enough to keep this compressed, because you talked about sort of dialing down tempo a little bit. I would echo that. And so I think somehow, some way, this is well within 24.5. So I go Georgia win, Auburn cover. Do you agree or disagree on that?
No, I'm going to say no cover here.
You're going to say no cover. So blowout city.
Yeah.
All right. Fun calls on Monday morning.